Hey fellas, your commissioner here, coming at you for a little week 13. 13. 13 of NFL action. Um, 13, yeah, I'm picking a nose. Get it? Start off here, it's just different, right? Typically, the Hogs have never been bad enough to where I need to just go away from the formula. But I guess it's probably a good thing. Really keeps things fresh, keeps me on my toes, keeps me trying to innovate and just do things different. No stagnation, right? Because people are hitting the portal left and right. Bobby P's back in the mix. Hogs basketball can't win a game. It's weird times. It's weird times. It's bad times. you know. KJ, the cherry on top, looks like it is pretty much confirmed he is going to enter the portal. Sounds like maybe South Carolina. Yuck. But I don't know. It's a sad state right now. Can only wait to see how baseball hurts us this season. And kind of segueing into, obviously my team's having a little bit of struggles here the last couple of days. And you know what? I'd like to take this time to apologize to the league on behalf of the current conditional council member whose assigned duties at the moment is to handle compiling and getting the power rankings to me each and every week that we have them from between weeks 2 and weeks 14. Obviously, last week that did not happen. And while I am putting full blame and responsibility on this conditional council member, as your league commissioner, as your daddy, it is up to me to step in and step up whenever the people whose duties I have assigned to them do not do them. Okay? And so I think, the kind of little bad streak I've had of obviously losing and then some of my players are a little bit dinged up, it's the fantasy gods punishing me for not being a good enough commissioner to y'all. I did mention, I think it was either Sunday or Monday, I said, hey, I still haven't got this. If I don't get this, I will do them myself, as I've had to do multiple times this season. Multiple times. Do your job, right? It's not that hard. And it's, you know what? That's fine. Like I said, I am the figurehead. I need to take ownership and responsibility. And whenever I don't do so, I deserve to be punished by the fantasy scales of blind scales of justice. Brody, get away from there. And, I'll take it. I'll take it on the chin. If it means I don't make the playoffs, it is what it is. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for me anyway. But I will say that there has never been a hotter seat for a council member than currently exists. Okay? And I know that this conditional council member is kind of taking the split lead on the next year's draft. I will be curious to see the co-person who is doing that with this conditional council member, how much involvement there has been between the two. So, Councilman Craig, if you could report to me on the conditional council member's involvement or lack thereof, that would be much appreciated, and that will certainly weigh into decisions as we move into the off season on potentially having a rotating spot for that fifth council seat. Duncan has obviously been in the hot seat, the jackpot. His ass has been in the jackpot before. Craig's ass has been in the jackpot before. But you know what? They've done their jobs admirably. And of course, Nick's never been in the jackpot. His ass is fine, but it's just not acceptable. It's not acceptable, and I won't stand for the blatant disregard and disrespect that he's showing. This conditional council member is showing all of you. If you all aren't personally offended by this, I don't know what to tell you. Because I think you should be. I think you should be. And we basically just have missed a week of power rankings. Some highlights. I believe Nick was at the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Blaine was at the top. I think I jumped all the way up to 2. Certainly didn't deserve to be there, clearly. Even though I had a fine week, but we'll get to that. And it's not, I know there's holidays, I know there's things going on, but whenever you tell me you can do it, you told me I can do this, and it didn't happen. Reminded multiple times, didn't happen. What do you want me to do? My hands are tied here, Rip. You're tying my hands and my feet together and leaving me on a train track like I'm some damsel in a black and white 1800s film. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to be this bad guy. So I tell you what, the weeks 13 and weeks 14, it's prove it time, Buster. If you screw up one of these last 2 weeks, either one, I'm going to very seriously consider opening up to a vote to have the 5th council spot filled by potentially anybody in the league. And if everybody votes for themselves, then all things will stay equal. But if somebody rallies the support to get multiple votes, they will get a council seat. And I've got an anonymous league owner who I'm going to get to here very soon, who is busting ass and did a great breakdown. He preferred to remain nameless at this time, but I'll show you the work that was done here very, very soon in the next 20 minutes or so. And that's the kind of initiative I love to see. That's the kind of drive I want to see out of somebody who would be in the council, So anyways, and again, obviously the results of the draft weekend, how much you have done versus Craig has done will weigh into my decision as well. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead here and get into a recap of last week's games. We'll start off with the Planters slightly salty peanuts game of the week between Shade Dynasty and Can You Feel the Love. And Dylan falls this one, 131 to 116. Rip somehow still finds a way to keep winning. He's won 5 in a row. He's 7-5. He's in 3rd place in the league. He's got the 3rd least amount of points for, I believe. He's got a negative 66 point differential. He has middle of the pack or upper half points against him. That's not a rest. Like, if you score a low amount of points and you've got a good record, it's usually because you don't have anybody scoring against you. People are scoring against him. He's not scoring any points. How is he 75? How are you 75 with a negative 66 point differential? I don't understand it. He's deserved to win 2 games, basically, of the 5 he's won in this 5-game win streak. Happened to be against me and D-Shade, the bookends, to start the streak and, potentially maybe the last win in the streak. A little foreshadowing as we get, coming up on the preview. But, 131, credit to him. He had a good week. D-Shade was sitting at 99%, I believe, going into the late afternoon. Eagles game went to overtime. Devontae got a few more points. Jalen Hurts got the walk-off tutty, rushing touchdown. Got him 40 points on the day. Debo had a good game as well on Thanksgiving. Devontae, obviously, very good game. Likely was okay. Dylan was okay. Really 131, but he was really just carried by Devontae, Debo, and Jalen Hurts having 40 points. Anytime you can get that kind of production from your quarterback, you're going to have a good week. There's just no way anybody's team is bad enough to have a 40-point, scoring week from their quarterback and not at least get to 100 points. So, and for D-Shade, he was down about 30 points going into Monday night. He had Addison and Dobbs. Started off, looked like bang, like he was going to be in it. He was going to come back and win. Addison had like a 50-yard bomb on like the first play of the game, incomplete. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Dobbs then proceeded to throw 4 interceptions. I believe he fumbled as well. No, just 4 picks. And Addison just couldn't do enough. But, 116, still a respectable showing. Obviously McCaffrey's a cheat code. 31 points from him. Pollard looks like he's in gear, 20 points. Ridley's back on track, 20 points. Kelsey, okay, but 15 points. Some people would kill to get 15 points from their tight end. And, I mean, this is just a regular ho-hum game for him to get 15 points. So, for Rip, whatever. Let's see if he can keep it up. He's got 2 tough games here down the stretch to close out his season. And so he's going to have to earn it. And if he does, hats off to him. If he can earn it and somehow win out, because I think even one more loss, his ass is in trouble. And obviously with 2, he'd be done. So, and for D-Shade 6-5, he's still very much in it. He's in the mix at 6-6. He's got a good points for right there in the upper range of all the teams that are 6-6. 6 teams are 6-6. We had 6 teams last week that were 6-5, and basically nothing changed. All those teams that were 6-5 pretty much went to 6-6. And so it's a very, I've never seen this. Like I told you, I've never seen this in league history, to have this many teams with the same record with 2 games left in the regular season. This is an unprecedented season we're in, guys. And I just want to say credit where credit's due. 10 teams were in over 100 points this week. Everybody was over 115 of those 10 teams. Was over 115. Very high scoring week, very good fantasy week for a lot of folks. That's why, obviously 120, you'd love to get a win with that. As we look at the Swamp Donkeys and Horse Ass, I fall 145 to 121. Blaine is on a 3-game win streak to get to 8-4. He has clinched a playoff spot. My 2-game win streak is busted to get back to 500 to get to 6-6. Respectable game, but I would have lost to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. I'm going to have lost half the league this week. So, being a bottom half scorer, technically, even though 120 would get you a win most weeks, I can't be too upset about it. Obviously it would have been great to win. Josh Allen just bent me over and showed me the 50 states. You know what I mean? 45 points from him. The Eagles' defense is softer than Charmin, and he's really the difference here because Puka did nothing, Kincaid not much. A.J. Brown, 5 catches, 37 yards, happens to catch a touchdown to save his day. Gibbs and Kamara were just so-so. Of course, he did kind of steal he got 10 points on the final drive of the Lions game on Thanksgiving. Makes a little bit of a difference, but, just not enough. I mean, and it really comes down to Tua. I mean, Tua only scoring 11 points, it's just not good enough. I mean, he's been terribly inconsistent this season. He's just as likely to get you 30 points as he is to get you 11. I don't know why. He's just he's just a mediocre quarterback. Let's just call a spade a spade. I mean, he is the kind of quarterback you want whenever you have an elite wide receiver. It's very similar to me. He's a slightly better passer than Justin Fields without the rushing. He is because, I mean, you look at Justin Fields, DJ Moore did nothing whenever Bagent was in playing quarterback. When Fields is playing quarterback, DJ Moore's dropping 20 points every week, right? And so it's one of those things where, Tua, he's good enough to throw to an elite guy, and he knows how to do that, and that's why Tyreek got 26 points, ho-hum, against the number 1 secondary in the league, but none of those other options get any work, and that's what ultimately hurts his overall numbers. The fact that Tyreek gets 26 points, 30 points on the regular, and Tua still doesn't have a floor of 20 points a week, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But he doesn't have the rushing. He doesn't throw a lot of touchdowns because the rushing attack is so good for Miami. And it is what it is. It is what it is. So, obviously I rolled with Dobbs over Deontay. That a couple pointed difference, not much there. Freiermuth went off on the bench. JT had a good game. Tyreek had a good game. I mean, it was a good week. I mean, I've been over 100 points every week since week 6. Week 6 to now, I've been over 100 points. I've been over 100. I've been at 115 or more basically every game since week 6, and I have 4 losses to show for it. And you've got guys that haven't broken 100 more than 2 times, 3 times in that same stretch. And yet they may have won 5 games. They may have won 3 games in a row, They've got same or better record as I do. And, that's just the game. That's just the game. And I don't even have that many points against me either. So it's just bad luck at the bad time. Obviously, JT banged up. He's out for right when I need him the most. He vanished, right? I mean, he's out for the next 2 weeks, at least, probably 2 to 3 weeks. And hopefully he gets back to the playoffs, can either save me from horse ass or hopefully help me make a run at a title. But, I mean, this is just Blaine's team. I mean, again, it's like some guys are going to have bust games, but then you got Mike Evans, 2 touchdowns, right? You got Josh Allen, 4 touchdowns, 45 points. It's just almost impossible for his whole team to bust at the same time. It is. So it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. So next year, McCockners versus Doesn't Contribute. Very high-scoring game here. The highest scoring game, I believe, of the week. Craig wins 142 to 136. Craig was looking like he was maybe going to be left for dead, and he has now won 2 games in a row to get back to 6-6. Conversely, JD looks like he was going to maybe run away and clinch a playoff spot maybe as soon as this week, last week, and now he's lost 2 in a row to fall to 6-6. Really, Craig was carried by the return of Kyren Williams. I don't get this guy. I just don't get it. I mean, this kid is like the best running back in the league. I mean, 143 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. He had another 6 catches for 60 yards. I mean, he had over 200 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns. I mean, this is why I drafted Cam Akers over Pittman and over all these other guys, because this is the potential. I don't understand how Kyren Williams is that much better than these other guys that he's able to do this. But credit to him. I mean, they were playing a really bad Arizona Cardinals defense. Maybe that had a little bit to do with it. Zay Flowers had a couple touchdowns on Sunday night, I believe. Ayuk caught a touchdown, low volume. Stevenson's been really good these last 3 games. Jacobs had a really good game as well. And you look at his bench, I mean, 25 from Rasheed on the bench, 20 from Jacoby on the bench. Dotson was, 10 points. Keaton Mitchell, 10 points. Just solid production all up and down the field. And, for JD, you really got to feel bad for him. I mean, 136, the third most points scored on the week. And to come away with a loss there, it's devastating. It's devastating. If he wins this game, he's sitting at 7-5 and in full control of his destiny. He has a little bit of wiggle room now. If he was 7-5, to be able to comfortably probably lose one of the next 2 games. Now it's 6-6. I mean, these last 2 games are crucial. I mean, the only way to guarantee it is to win both. You lose 1 out of 2, it's dicey. And if you happen to lose both, you're out. So, he's really carried by Jordan Love. He picked him up trying to solve his quarterback woes. It worked out this week for him, 32 points. DJ Moore, of course, had a great game, 22 points, almost came back on him on Monday night. I believe I crunched the numbers. He only would have got another 1.5, maybe 2 points for yardage, plus the 6 for the touchdown. Yeah, he would have won. Actually, now I'm looking at it again. He would have won with the touchdown, let alone the yards. I think the yards, he would have got an extra point at least from the yards, which would have put him at 143. So, yeah, that's... Whoops, that stinks. That would have sucked for Craig, especially whenever I said he was Gucci. He was good. And I guess Commish was right. He was Gucci. He was fine. He won. And, close, whatever. Cooks had a great game, and Njoku good. I mean... CD good. I mean, double digits from everybody. I mean, this is a win. This is a win 9.5 times out of 10. And unfortunately, this high scoring week, it just didn't work out for him. So like I said, you hate to see that. Good for Craig though. Good for him. Next here, the Loser Bowl, Dirty Birds of War versus Concussion Protocol. Nick had his best game of the year, I believe, 136 to 116. Get to 4-8, put Plunk on a 6-game losing streak. I don't think that Connor has been on a 6-game losing streak since his first season in the league, whenever he also got the lowest points scored in a single week ever, I believe, 29 points, something like that, whatever it was. And, he is back in the dark ages. He is fully regressed. Both of these teams 4-8, technically not out of it because half the league is 6-6. So, you're only 2 games out from a spot. So anything's possible. Of course, both of these guys have to win out. They have to win the rest of their games and get lucky to even have a chance. I don't even know if it is mathematically possible. They are not. No one has been eliminated yet, which is also very crazy to think that there's not been 2 games left and nobody's eliminated. That's wild. But T-Law had a great game. Waddle was very solid as well. King Henry did what he did. Christian Watson finally did something on the bench, of course. ETN was okay. Garrett Wilson was okay. But, outside of Pop Douglas, everybody in double digits. And again, it's just that's, how you get to that into that 130 range. You got to have a quarterback that goes off for 30 plus. It's just impossible to do without getting that kind of advantage at that position. And for Connor, okay, decent week, right? 116. Of course, no Achane. I don't know what the hell's going on with him. He had Keenan. That's really one of his own bright spots. Him and Pittman. Plunk's receivers really are very, very good. Jamar Chase, Keenan Allen, Michael Pittman, of course. Chase does have Browning throwing him the ball. And Lamar is always prone to just disappear because, again, he's kind of like Tua. He's a better version of Tua, admittedly, but they've got such a heavy rushing attack that there's games where he's just not going to have the production. He's not going to have the touchdowns. That's how you score points as a quarterback. You got to get touchdowns or you got to get rushing yards. But James Cook was good. Zach Moss, decent. He's going to probably keep Connor afloat these last couple weeks. Especially if Achane can't go, to be able to slot Moss in there. That proves why he hung on to him, why he had such a high price for trying to trade him potentially. And, but anyway, I probably spent more time on these 2 teams than I needed to. These are 2 teams that most likely will not be in the playoffs. So, next here, Kickers Lives Matter versus It Was Fun While It Lasted. The rebrand seems to be working wonders for Savoy. He looked like he was maybe going to be dead in the water, maybe going a long losing streak, maybe lose out to end the season. He gets a win, 133 to 117, puts Duncan on a 2-game losing streak. Hey, Loki, no, stop scratching that couch. He's just frozen. It's like rebooting. Loki, no. Knock my thing over, motherfucker. Okay, sorry about that. Where were we? Loser. That's me. Duncan again. He was sitting at 6-4 just a few weeks ago, and now to fall to 6-6 and having a scratch and claw. Now he's got the 3rd or 2nd most points for in the league, so he's in a very good position. He's in the best position of all the teams that are 6-6. But you gotta wonder how much longer can Dak keep this up, because that's really how we got to 117, is Dak dropping 40 points on a terrible Washington Commanders secondary. Because Pacheco had a good game, 26 points from him. Christian Kirk had 13 points, but then every single other player on his roster was below double digits. His bench doesn't inspire a lot of confidence either. Obviously, no Justin Jefferson. You won't have Justin Jefferson again this week. Kittle finally crashed back down after having 3 good games in a row, great games in a row. And I'd be a little bit worried. Maybe Duncan's starting to show his true colors a little bit. You know what I mean? If let's say Duncan didn't have Dak, his team would be stinky. His team would be horse ass. It would be. It really would be. But, credit where credit's due. For him to weather the storm of losing Justin Jefferson, obviously the cornerstone of his franchise for the last several years, for the vast majority of the season, to be able to still stay afloat and make things happen, credit where credit's due. So good job there, Duncan. For Savoy, C.J. Stroud, obviously he's a monster, 36 points. Mostert, great game, 20 points. Diggs got back on track with 20. Olave's finally getting going. Nico finally got back on track. But of course Gus didn't do much. Jonnu's piece of shit. Terry McLaurin's not great either. And his bench is thin. I mean, he needs Aaron Jones back in the worst way. He needs Aaron Jones back and healthy in the worst way, especially next week, which we'll get to here just very soon. And then our final game here, the dog shit throw up all over themselves. Just Wilson keeps finding himself in this position. He tried to maybe camp, take his mind off of things. Obviously, he's not. He needs to spend less time camping and hoping the Leafs stick around, and more time looking at his damn team. Because this is a tale as old as time. A tale as old as last season. Because he started off hot, stayed hot, number one team in the league for a brief period in the middle of the season. I don't think he was ever that this season, but last year he got close, right? Upper echelon of the league. And what's he done since? He's gone on a 3-game losing streak. Should be 4. If I sound like a broken record, it's because I'm very salty about him getting a win with 80 points. Should have been a 4-game losing streak. Alas, he is 6-6, lost 3 in a row. Ford back from the dead. Back from the dead. 5-7. 1 game out of the playoffs. Ford is 1 game. He wins both of his next 2 games. He could very well be in the offs. He gets to 7-7. He's won 3 in a row. Didn't deserve this one either. 93 points to 76.9. Now, like I said, Wilson, it's just fatigue, right? I want to shit on Wilson more, but it's just, what more can I say? What more can I say that hasn't already been said, right? I mean, it's pathetic. I think he knows that it's pathetic. I don't think that he cares that it's pathetic, because this is now getting back to who he truly is as a fantasy football owner. And that's just, I'm here to have a good time. Let's have fun. If I win, I win. If I lose, whatever, who cares? It's just a game. And, outside of Patty Mahomes getting 25 points and Sammy Laporta getting 17, pathetic. Shaheed, 3 points. Kupp, 4 points. Thielen, 1 point. Hopkins, 8. James Conner, 7. Swift, 9. That's bad. Without Patrick Mahomes, this is almost a 50-point week. This is almost a D-Shade week from several weeks ago. A Dylan week, rather. I'm sorry, not a Wilson week. And, the bench, there's just not a lot there. I mean, Foreman and Herbert, Baker, blah. Shakir, blah. Osborne, blah. Taysom Hill, blah. So, but the thing is, he's going to get lucky next week, as we're about to see. So, and for Josh, whatever. Bijan had a great game, 27 points. Goff, 23 points despite losing 3 fumbles. I mean, and just looking overwhelmed for the vast majority of the game. But, Joe Mixon, not with Browning at quarterback. Amari Cooper with DTR is not good. He's concussed. Hollywood's hurt, and Jigba's up and down. Schultz is not good. Pickens is not good. I mean, the bench is not good. So it would be a miracle of epic proportions if Ford was somehow able to win his last 2 games and sneak into the playoffs. It's not going to happen. I'm just telling you right now. Wilson doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs either. And, that's that. I think there are several teams that do deserve it out of the 6-6 squads. Wilson's not one of them. So no hard feelings, nothing personal, but that's just the way it is. What's up, wife?
It's my first appearance in like 7 videos, right? 7 videos. I haven't been in the.
I think it was like week 9 or week 8.
Y'all missed me.
Week 7, yeah, since week 7.
How many videos has it been since then?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 13, so this is 6. So 5 videos because you're in this one.
Okay, 5 videos. Oh my gosh. I feel bad for all the injuries. I know John took a big hit. He was really sad. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It ruined my Monday, legitimately. The JT news, it really did. It ruined my Monday. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But my baby, My football husband, Jalen Hurts, he's still healthy. So.
He didn't even watch the game. The biggest game he's been in against the Bills.
Because we were looking at houses.
I watched the game. Walk-off touchdown.
Because we were looking at houses.
So.
Oh. I just love John.
Oh, I just love Erica.
Do you really?
Yes.
I know you do.
You want to pick games today or no?
Sure.
Okay.
You haven't even started doing that?
I'm almost to it. I'm right to it.
What have you been doing? I was in the car for like 30 minutes.
It's been 30 minutes. I mean, it's typically a 45-minute show, you know? So, anyways, pickups this week. I'll rip through these pretty quick. I got Craig Scraps, Jahan Dotson, 11 fab for him.
Jay Dotson? Nobody had Jay Dotson.
Jahan Dotson, Craig dropped them. Yeah.
He's not doing good this year, is he?
He's up and down. Okay. He can disappear. He can disappear for sure. So I understand why Craig dropped them. So Datavion Wicks, Wilson, 7 fab. I don't think a single other owner was in on him. Sure wasn't. Dotson, other owners in on him. Duncan was in on 6 for 6 fab.
Oh, you can see all this information.
Yeah, it's great. ESPN did a good job. Savoy was in on Dotson for 1. Let's see who else.
This is new. This wasn't here last year.
It was not. I tried to pick up Mingo, my guy, as a contingency. Didn't happen. Nick gets him for 3 fab, drops QJ. Savoy picks up Jalen Hyde. I think that's a sneaky good pickup for 3 fab. Plunk Johnson for 2, needs a tight end. K. Doughton, 2 fab for Rip. He needed a tight end. Blaine picks up Gardner as his bye week fill-in. Interesting choice for 1 fab with Josh Allen on the bye. And then I had a few other contingencies down there. Didn't work out. What are you doing? Look at me. Savoy also picked up Tyler Higbee for 1 fab. Dropped Jonnu, tried to solve his tight end woes. Glad I'm not in tight end hell. What a terrible place to be. All right, so as I alluded to earlier in the episode, an anonymous league owner worked on that's great work. Great work. He does not want to be disclosed of who that is. Here, hold on. All right, and we're back. Hopefully that muted.
Yeah, I was about to say, it didn't look like it changed.
So it did, I think. Anyway, an anonymous league owner, he crunched the numbers on, I mentioned on previous videos how I used to track my picks, how I did. I had not done it. He took the initiative and did it himself. Overall record on the season, not great. Not great. Right around 500, just a little bit below, 34-38 on my picks this season. Game of the week's a little bit better, 7-5. My betting predictions, I'm glad no one's been tailing me this season because I'm 2-6 and my betting predictions terrible. We've had only a single guest picker this season so far. They actually went 4-2. The guest picker just happened to be Erica back in week 6, 4-2, and was correct in their game of the week prediction at 1-0. So, it's just some interesting stats here. I don't think I have not had a perfect week. Any single week. There's been 1 week where I've not gone over. I'm not gone perfect. My worst week was week 11. I got 1 game correct. That was the game of the week. I missed every single other game. This owner also put in some funny predictions and takes that I've had. Week 2, I selected Craig's team to be the game of the week winner, and instead Craig was the dog shit team that week. Week 4, Nick and I were adamant about Rip beating Nick and hitting the team total over by a lot. And Rip scored 93 points.
LOL.
LOL. I also called my tight ends an embarrassment of riches. And they combined for 13 in a loss where I only scored 69 points. Nice. I was confident game of the week would be high scoring, and it totaled at 159 points and was the dog shit matchup of the week, featuring the dog shit team of the week, Craig. Some other things here. Week 5, I did not want myself and Savoy to be game of the week in fear that the matchup wouldn't be good. Turned out to be bad anyway. Back-to-back times eviscerating JD, and he ended up winning. I said Ford would bury Rip and send him to 0-5. Rip is now solo 3rd place in the league.
LOL.
LOL. Week 6, I did correctly predict Shade's team under, so one of my 2 correct gambling picks. Savoy said that Nick would cover, lost by 30 points. LOL. Craig on the come up. He's not a fraud. LOL. Wait, I guess was Savoy the guest picker in week 6?
Oh, was that the
Because he
wedding?
was here,
That was
right?
our wedding.
Yeah.
That was our wedding.
Have you not picked games this season? I feel like you had. Maybe
No,
you haven't.
I didn't. It was Savoy.
It was Savoy. Apologies for that. We'll fix that in post. So I guess this will be Erica's first time picking this season. Let's see, what else? Craig's on the come up. He's not a fraud. I said that. LOL. Week 7, Kamish called Dylan's team dead in week 7, and Duncan would find a way. And Dylan ended up winning by 55. LOL. Okay.
Let me do the LOL.
Ford wins, not even close. JD scores over 100 points, and then come talk to me. JD won big and scored over 120 points. You know what? The way I see this, I feel like I say these things to motivate you. You know, it's not necessarily for me to be right. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I want y'all to do good. I want y'all to be successful, just not against me. And I see a lot of these as really positive things for me. I'm going to go into spin zone mode of the fact that, you know, JD obviously took that as motivation, me disrespecting his team, saying score over 100 points and then come talk to me. And guess what? He did that. All right. And I gave JD's team some respect after that. Week 8, I was referring to my own team. I said we will lose if we don't put up 125 points. I scored 115 and lost by 25.
LOL.
Okay, so even if I put up 125, I still wouldn't have won. I believe that was against Rip or Duncan, one of the two. And then in week I ripped JD again in week 8, only for him to win and score 140. So hey, JD, more power to you, brother. If you need me to rip your team to shreds every week, I'll do it, because obviously it works for you. It works for you. You just got to pay me if you make any money. And then week 10, I want Duncan to lose. I need Duncan to lose. Duncan had the best week of the regular season, I believe. Scored almost 190, wins by over 100 points.
LOL.
So
the person who put this together is phenomenal.
That's great.
That's
a great
they
job.
watch all your videos and do a good job of paying attention and keeping up notes.
It really makes my heart happy that someone is so invested in the State of the Unions and really cares and breaks it down and shows the initiative. And honestly, that influences my decision, like I talked about earlier, about opening up a 5th council spot, potentially for somebody, maybe of my choosing, maybe to a league vote. We'll see.
Or the council
maybe
might
a council
decrease.
vote. Maybe a council vote. Well, why would it decrease?
I don't know. I don't want it to be obvious that somebody might not have. Somebody on the council.
Somebody might get kicked out. I was very clear about that.
What I'm saying is I don't want it to be
because
obvious
their behavior
that whoever wrote
has been
this,
unacceptable.
I don't want it to be obvious whether or not this person is on the council.
This person's not on the council. I will disclose that. That leaves 7 other owners that it could be. So I think I said that at the beginning too,
yeah,
but I don't
was
remember.
Owner. Okay, I didn't.
So
I didn't know.
Well, everybody's an owner technically.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Even if they're on the council.
Oh, okay. Well, now you know this person's not on the council, and they obviously know it's not you.
Yes. Okay, game of the week. I know what's going to be the game of the week. I know what's going to be game of the week.
What are you going to eat? You want to eat the
Yeah, maybe. No. Actually, I think I'm going to do Tums.
What? You can't eat Tums.
We talking
Cool
about?
it.
No.
Have you done Cool it?
No. All right. Anyways, Horse Ass Shade Dynasty. I would really love to crush Dylan. I would love to beat his ass even. I know at the end of last week's video, water under the bridge, right? Wipe the fines. But I still want to punish him for some of the disrespect that he's shown, and to all of you as well. I think I went 1-0 against him last season. I believe I only played him once, introduced him to the league. I still don't like losing to relatively new people, the rookies. He's still a rookie because there's no one else less experienced than him. I think it's going to be a very close game, 111 to 110. Obviously, he is missing Addison. He's missing Josh Dobbs. He's missing Odell. I don't have Devontae. I don't have Alexander Madison. I don't have TJ Hawkinson. I don't have Jonathan Taylor. Tyreek Hill didn't practice today. Tank Dell didn't practice today. It's not looking great. It's not. And now Wednesday practice reports are pretty much bullshit. You know, I don't anticipate Tyreek or Tank Dell not playing, but it's still not. It's not fun to see that. It's not fun to see that. I'd rather see them practicing, no problems, or at least limited. You know. However, it's going to come down to how many points can Tyreek and Tua score for me.
Oh, I got to pick, right?
Yes. If Tyreek and Tua can combine for at least 55, 60 points, I think I'm going to have a good shot. If Tua gets anything less than 25 points, it's kind of loud. What do you need? What do you need that for?
I'm hungry. I just want to eat.
You want to pick, or you want to
I'm gonna eat.
You eat food?
Pick. Here.
Where's the professionalism here?
They can't see the chip. I'm off camera.
They can see you. So, anyways, if Tua and Tyreek don't win me the week, I'm gonna lose. You know, I think D-Shade, he's got a lot of shitty guys in there. DJ Chark, Logan Thomas, Tyler Boyd. I just got a feeling that it's gonna be one of those weeks where these bullshit players happen to have great matchups, and they give D-Shade a free 40 points that he shouldn't have. He should have had 10, and they get him 40. You know. But ultimately, like I said, I really need to win both of these last two games to feel comfortable. If I win both these last two games, I feel like I'm a lock to make the playoffs. If I lose both, obviously I'm out. If lose one, win one, then we'll see. We'll see what happens. But obviously, if I would have felt a lot better, get your nasty fingers off of there. You got your chip fingers on the screen.
Oh my God!
You don't need to look at the bench. The bench doesn't matter.
Well,
They're not playing. They're not playing.
I just want to see if you're making a bad decision, and so I can.
I have nobody else to play. I have nobody else to play. Just trust me.
Not just you.
Don't worry. No, we go based on the starting lineups. So if I had JT, I would have felt much better about this week. I would have been projected to win 120 to 110. Without him, this becomes it's a coin flip. It's a coin flip. I'm going to take me in the coin flip. I need to win. I have to win.
I was supposed to pick.
Who do you like? If you don't pick me, what are you doing?
I'm picking you, but I pick you.
All right, thank you.
Tyreek Hill sold the deal for me.
Thank you.
He's unpredictable. But he's usually unpredictable in a good way. You don't like the ranch flavor?
Yeah, it stinks.
I knew you were going to say that.
We're putting these away. That's unprofessional, folks. I apologize for this.
He doesn't like my breath when I eat ranch flavored chips.
So that's it for Erica's guest picking today. She picked one game. That's it.
That's all I'm doing today? Is that bad?
Next year, Swamp Donkeys, Can You Feel the Love? Rip is projected to win 106 to 104. Blaine's got a bullshit lineup in there right now. He doesn't have A.J. Brown in there. He doesn't have Gibbs in there. He doesn't have St. Brown in there. He doesn't have Kamara in there. He's playing games to make it seem like it's going to be close. Obviously, Josh Allen is on bye, and so is Kincaid. But again, Blaine is the deepest team in the league. The fact that he can put in a bullshit lineup and still be almost projected to beat another team with their best lineup, and obviously Saquon's on bye, so that's a grain of salt there. But it's pretty disrespectful. It's pretty disrespectful, but we're going to go with Blaine.
I'm going with Jalen Hurts. I'm going with this.
Against San Francisco?
Yeah. I'm picking the team with Jalen Hurts.
How about that? So Erica thinks Rip's going to go on a 6-game win streak after starting the season 0-4.
I'm just going to go with Rip for this. It just doesn't look good for Swamp Donkeys. Even though Swamp Donkeys has a hell of a... I'm saying this... Swamp Donkeys, not donkeys. Swamp Donkeys has a good team. I think that Rip's going to win this league finally again.
Yeah, Blaine's going to crush Rip. It's not even going to be close. Next here, Cataclysmic Catches versus It Was Fun While It Lasted. Wilson's projected to win 111 to 101. Very tough week for Savoy. No Diggs, no Gus Edwards. Aaron Jones, maybe. He really needs him healthy.
Who's the quarterback?
He's got C.J. Stroud, very good, versus Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
But until Wilson can prove something to me that he can be a competitive team, no matter how bad and how dire it looks for Savoy, I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with him to win. Probably the kiss of death.
I don't know at this point, but I like both Wilson and Savoy, so I can't be biased and say, oh, I like this person more. But based off of what the stats say, it looks like I'm putting my money on Wilson.
Wow.
Right?
Cold world.
Wilson right here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Cold world.
But Savoy doesn't mean I'm not rooting for you.
Yeah.
I'm still rooting for you, but I'm rooting for Wilson at the same time. So may the odds be in your favor.
Yeah. So yeah, I really want Savoy to win, because if Savoy and Blaine both win, it sets up a pure undisputed battle for the number 1 seed next week whenever Savoy and Blaine play each other. Whoever wins that game gets the 1 seed. It would just be perfect. So because otherwise, if Savoy loses and Blaine wins, the 1 seed's already locked up. So next here, Dirty Birds and the Father Figures, two not really relevant teams. Plunk's trying to break that 6-game losing streak he's on. He was projected to win 120-99. Ford refuses to score more than 100 points. No Kenneth Walker again this week. Amari, who knows? Hollywood, who knows? It's got to be Plunk. It's got to be Plunk. I think he finally gets back in the win column.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Penultimate matchup, concussion protocol versus doesn't contribute. Nick is projected to win 120-111. Like I said, can Nick get hot here and maybe make a little noise? Maybe potentially, play spoiler at the very least to Craig, who's trying to cling to a playoff spot. Tough week for Craig. Buys in week 13, it just makes no sense. I think there's even buys next week in week 14. It's like the NFL doesn't care about fantasy. It's weird. But Josh Jacobs on bye, Fields on bye, Zay Flowers on bye, Jacoby Myers on bye, Keaton Mitchell. Craig literally, what his lineup is what it is. He has no other options that he could put in to his starting lineup. That being said, I'm going to go with Nick.
Well, again,
I want Nick to win because it hurts Craig's chances of making the playoffs. That's ultimately what it boils down to.
Again, I like both these people. I like everybody in the league equally.
All right, while you're doing that,
well,
I'm gonna go.
I
gotta go get the game of the week. I'll listen to it.
Okay, whatever. I get the spotlight. Anyways, it's me. Looking at this, I'm thinking Nick probably has a better team. That's what the odds are saying. But Craig's team is very unpredictable. I always mess up this guy's name from San Francisco, Ayuk, whatever. I think he can score more than 15 if he's having a good day. Like he can be in the 20s. I also think DK Metcalf is unpredictable. He can either be less than 15. I don't know how he's been playing this year, and that's pretty high score from what you've been telling me how he's been playing this year. 15.2.
All right, we don't need to break this game down. We got the game of the week. We got to break down. We're running long on time.
What I'm trying to say is, I think that if it sways in the way that I think, because fantasy football is unpredictable, I think Craig actually does have a good chance of winning. Okay. So I pick Craig.
Next. All right.
And maybe just because I think Nick is a little bit full of himself sometimes with fantasy. So I want him to humble down, which I've heard he might get horse's ass this year, which is crazy.
All right, so that brings us to our game of the week, our Tums assorted berry flavor game of the week. This is Ultra Strength plus Ultra 1,000, 160 chewable tablets. Goes to work in seconds. I don't know about that. Basically it's only one ingredient, calcium carbonate. I'm getting old. Got the acid reflux right in here. It sucks.
This is my game of the week.
So anyway, it's starting to flare up. That's why I thought about it. So anyway, Tums, the official antacid of the Bring That Wood Fantasy Football League. Cheers. All right.
Cheers.
Oh. Kickers Life Matter versus the McCockners.
We're still not done.
No, we got one game.
Then why do you do the game of the week now?
It's the last game.
Oh.
124-114. Duncan's projected to win. Battle of the quarterback. You got Dak Prescott versus Russell Wilson. the way Dak's been playing, it's impossible to pick against him. Seattle's not a good defense. We're going to go with Dak in that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a no-brainer.
Battle of the running backs. You got.
Why is this battle of the week then?
What are you talking about? It's just, they're two teams. They're 6-6. They're both on 2-game losing streaks. They both are in desperate need of busting their losing streaks. It's a semi-close game. Battle of the running backs: Brian Robinson versus Isaiah Pacheco versus Rachaad White and Jerome Ford. If you asked me before the season, this wouldn't have even been close. But the way Rachaad White's been playing these last couple weeks, or last month or so, really, and Ford has been extremely consistent the last few weeks as well. I think I'm going to probably have to push this one.
Push it to who?
I'm not picking anybody. I think they're going to be about equal with the running backs.
I'm going to go with Pacheco.
Okay, so Duncan's running backs. Wide receiver: Tyler Lockett, Christian Kirk, Courtland Sutton versus CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, and Josh Downs. Obviously, no DJ Moore, no Gabe Davis for JD this week. This was pretty tough, but CD, the way he's playing, he's a monster. T. Higgins probably won't contribute anything, but I'm going to go with JD's wide receivers in there. You got to go quick. We're long. This is the longest one of the year.
I'm going to go with CG and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Over Kirk and Lockett.
Gotcha.
Lockett.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tight ends, you got Kittle.
You got to bear with me. It's been a while since I've even watched your videos or even, been in the house.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Usually when you're recording the videos as of late.
I thought you supported me and
support
watched
you.
all my videos.
But like last week you recorded the video like early in the morning. I was still asleep.
I recorded it on Thursday. It's Wednesday. You could have watched it.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. But it's been a minute since I've been in this and remember how it goes. I haven't even been in a video for like five videos.
Sorry, Birdie. All right, battle of the tight end. You got Kittle versus Njoku. Kittle. Kittle. Who you like? Kittle or Njoku? You like Njoku,
no,
right?
Yeah, Njoku.
Keenan Njoku.
Njoku! Wakanda! Forever.
And then battle of the flex: Austin Eckler versus Brandon Cooks. We're going to go with Eckler, even though he's not playing very good right now. So, ultimately, what do you think of the flex? Eckler or Cooks? Brandon Cooks.
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with players like I was.
You don't know Austin Eckler, Chargers running back?
I know him, but you told me he wasn't doing good this year.
She's going to go with Eckler. Ultimately, I think that Duncan does win. I think Duncan does win to beat JD. What do you think?
Yes.
You agree?
Yes, I agree.
You like Duncan?
Yes.
He's your buddy?
Yes, my best friend.
Yeah.
He wouldn't say my breath stinks with ranch. He eats ranch. He would be eating these with me.
Yeah, he probably would. His high ass. All right, that's all I got this week, fellas. Obviously, we're playing Duke tonight. Probably going to lose by about 25, 30 points. Probably be a real embarrassment to the program.
What time is the game on?
8:15.
Oh,
probably
we'll be watching Survivor.
Yeah, I won't be watching it. I promise you that. I will not watch a second of this game unless we win, and then I'll watch all of it. It's a Survivor night, Amazing Race night, Challenge night. It's a big night in the Lasley household for TV. And we're excited for it. Looking forward to it. Should be a very good last couple weeks, fun couple weeks. Hope you all stay safe out there. Good luck this week. And as always, Woo Pig.
Yeah.